Guys, on Friday, on September 12th, the S&P 500 made an all-time high at 6,600, precisely at 6,600.21. However, it failed to close above the 6,600 psychological level and closed at 6,584.29. There was the reason that why it has failed to close or move above 6,600. It was because after the expected ATH, which was supposed to be 655X, there was a small zone, a small heavy resistance zone. This heavy resistance zone was 659X, precisely to 6599. This is why in this, the important update to my Patreon community members, I mentioned that the bullish side will remain limited and restricted to this zone and maximum to 6599 for the entire day. But there will not be any fall on Friday until and unless the S&P 500 loses the 658X on the hourly closing basis. This means that S&P 500 can be seen trading in between these two for the entire day. That was the reason S&P 500 tried again and again to move to 6,600 or beyond. But because of 6599 heavy resistance mark of the zone, it has managed to hit the 6,600 psychological level and then retraced back. Now, this situation is not expected to change, or most likely the S&P 500 is expected to trade in between the 6,600 or 6599 and the previously expected 655X. Now, there are some technical obligations which are yet to be fulfilled. Technical obligations means what we have seen at the 646X, a short-term reversal. Then what we have seen at the 649X, a short-term reversal. Then what we have seen at the 653X, again an intraday reversal. Okay, but this the 655X was much more heavier as compared to all of these, including the expected ATH of the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq and the QQQ. But because of the pure manipulation or heavy manipulation on Thursday, S&P 500 managed to do so. Whereas on Thursday, at the same day, the QQQ and the Dow Jones were trading well within their expected all-time high ranges, whereas the S&P 500 was the only index which was pushed higher and higher and breached and failed to hold at the 655X or around 655X. So there is a pending obligation for the short term, at least for the short term reversal. From where? From the 655X. I'm not saying that the fall will be limited to 655X. No, that will be the initial fall. Okay. But I'm saying that below 655X, a pending obligation that should throw the S&P 500 back into the 6,400 range. And because it is so heavy, that is why if certain conditions are fulfilled, then the S&P 500 will enter into the 6,300 range. Because you yourself can notice here that when the S&P 500 on Wednesday hit the 655X for the very first time, okay, we have seen that there was an intraday reversal, a good reversal. So on Wednesday, it was confirmed that for the S&P 500, the max will be the 655X zone, the range, and for the QQQ, the max will be 583, 585. Okay, that has earlier worked. Okay, very well. On September 10th, in the premium opportunities to my Patreon community members, I have given the opportunity in the SPY. SPY is the ETF of S&P 500 and the QQQ, which is the ETF of Nasdaq, including the options trade for both for QQQ and for the SPY. This was the options trade that I have given. So now one thing is very much clear, that there will be the fulfillment of the obligation at 655X. Now, under what conditions this will work, okay, or when exactly we are expecting this to happen, what conditions will trigger this heavy fall, or what will help the S&P 500 and the entire market to hold and sustain, that I'm going to discuss in detail in this, the S&P 500 weekly technical analysis. And remember guys, next week will be heavily volatile, because on Wednesday the FOMC decision will be known, the SEPs will be released, okay, the economic projections, and then the press conference of the Fed chairman. A lot of volatility, a very heavy volatility. So guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And if you want to get these daily precise updates and the opportunities of the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and in a manner to the entire US stock market, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now guys, let me tell you that I have divided this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis in three parts. First one is the weekly chart. I will discuss the weekly chart through the technicals, numbers, okay, in detail, and I will show you the absolute bullishness and the saturation, okay, which is again expected to act as the catalyst, okay, in the bearish side movement. Then the second part will be the daily chart. Again, the daily chart I will discuss the same. Again, the saturation is there, absolute bullishness is there, but the saturation is also there, that I will discuss in the daily chart. Third part is the probable movement. In the probable movement, I will tell you what exactly is expected to happen, if it has to move up, or if there is any room in the bull side, or if it has to fall, or if it remain like this for next 2 to 3 days or so. So that all I will discuss, the bullish bearish conditions in the probable movement. And it is recommended that you should watch all of these three sections in order to understand what is going to happen in the S&P 500, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and in a manner to the entire US stock market in the next week, and what can trigger the heavy fall or the heavy rise in the market. So now I am going to begin with the weekly chart. So now guys, this is the weekly chart of the S&P 500. Weekly chart means one candle represents 1 week, not 1 day or 1 hour. One candle means 1 week. Now on this, the weekly chart, if you notice, okay, so let's first discuss the candle. It's a very heavy bullish candle. However, the closing of the candle is not near or very equal or equal to the high of the candle. Okay, this is why. It is just indicating an initial or intraday bullishness, but no gap up open. Okay, rather there may come a surprise gap down open. Why? Because the obligation is yet to be fulfilled. Okay, it may happen that on Monday there may come a gap down open and it comes down to the 655x, because see, sooner or later it will have to come down to and below 655x. 655x, okay, will act as very heavy. As of now, not the support but the resistance. Means a fall will be allowed, but a reversal back to the 655x, it will be conditional. Anyways, so just an initial or intraday bullish movement on Monday. This candle is indicating that thing. That's it, nothing else. Now let's analyze the last weekly candle of the Dow Jones. Well, Dow Jones is or was the only index which has fulfilled the criteria, the conditions, or the expected all-time high level, and it is still respecting its all-time high level. But yes, the weekly candle of the Dow Jones, it is simply bullish in nature, indicating an initial or intraday bullishness, no gap up and nothing. Okay, a gap down may or may not happen. Okay, see, a gap up I am not confirming, but like in case of the S&P 500, there is some obligation to be fulfilled. But in case of the Dow Jones, there is no such obligation, because Dow Jones has already fulfilled its obligation in last 2 or 3 days. Okay, it is respecting. Okay, it has respected its all-time high level, Dow Jones. Okay, and now because S&P 500 and Nasdaq, okay, they are trading beyond their calculated expected ATH levels, but the Dow Jones is not. This means that Dow Jones will now be very decisive, because if Dow Jones fails to disrespect its expected the calculated ATH level, okay, in that case there will be fall in the entire market in all of the indices. Okay, because at least one index is still holding, respecting its calculated ATH, right? So in both of these the cases, an initial or intraday bullishness will be seen or will be expected, right? Now it will be more clear through the technicals. So in terms of the technicals, but guys, before that, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And if you want to join my Patreon community in order to get the daily precise S&P 500 analysis, updates, opportunities, then I've given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now, in terms of the technicals, the S&P 500 on the weekly chart is bullish through the moving averages. It is bullish through the Bollinger Bands. It is bullish through the Ichimoku cloud on the weekly chart. Okay, and S&P 500. And the S&P 500 is bullish through the MACD on the weekly chart. And the S&P 500 is bullish through the stochastic RSI on the weekly chart. It is at the point wherein if it trades bullish, then it will hit the saturation. Okay, if it trades bullish, then it will hit the saturation. Saturation means a reversal, a short-term reversal, at least. If not the long-term, then the short-term reversal. So in this manner, the S&P 500 is 100% absolute bullish on the weekly chart. Now let's analyze the Dow Jones. Dow Jones, the Dow Jones is bullish through the Ichimoku cloud on the weekly chart. Dow Jones is bullish through the moving averages on the weekly chart. Dow Jones is bullish through the Bollinger Bands on the weekly chart. Dow Jones is bullish through the MACD on the weekly chart. Dow Jones is bullish through the stochastic RSI on the weekly chart. And again the same condition, if it goes bullish but heavily bullish, then only it will hit the saturation. Okay, see, for the Dow Jones, there will be it will be needing 2 bullish candles, then only we can expect the saturation. But in case of the S&P 500, just one bullish, one green candle, and it will hit the saturation. And we need not to wait for like Friday or so. If on Monday, if it trades green, then most likely on Monday itself it will hit the saturation. Okay, so in this manner, the Dow Jones is also 100% absolute bullish. Now this is very conflicting and confusing. Why it is conflicting and confusing? So for that, what we know, see, the indices are 100% absolute bullish, indicating absolute bullish trend, right? This is clear through the technicals. But at the same time, the S&P 500 has disrespected the 655x 6500. Okay, the expected all-time high. This means that it is under obligation to come down to and then below. Okay, to enter into the short-term reversal, at least the short-term reversal. But generally this particular is so heavy that it can even trigger a reversal that will last for around more than 2 to 3 weeks, because it was very heavy. Okay, now the Dow Jones, okay, there was the all-time high of the Dow Jones. Dow Jones hit the all-time high. Okay, respected the all-time high, closed below the all-time high. Okay, is still respecting the all-time high. So bullishness means that market is in a condition to try for, the Dow Jones is in a condition to try for its all-time high. S&P 500 is in a condition to move up. But now for the S&P 500, the problem comes 6,599, you can say simply. Okay, calculated level. So we need a closing, at least one daily closing above 6599, or simply now this will be 6,600. 6,600 is the psychological level. 6599 is my calculated resistance level. Okay, so we need at least one daily closing above 6,600 so that it can clear all of these the barriers. But the problem is again the same. Okay, just like 655x, 659x, there is a range that ends at 6599. Okay, it is so heavy that the market, the S&P 500 will still struggle, and because of that struggle it is expected to come down to 655x, and when it comes down to the 655x, then it is expected to lose the 655x. Okay, so the bullishness will help in a manner that if there would have been a fall of like 2 or 3%, that will now be limited to 1% or 1.5%, but with a condition that a recovery will be there. That kind of bullishness is there. If the recovery does not happen, then we will have to wait for 2 or 3 weeks, and then eventually there will be some recovery. But by that time, it will be very much clear that the market has now entered into its bearish cycle. Okay, short term or long term, that will be different, but into the bearish cycle. But guys, whatever is going to happen or whatever will happen, I will keep you posted. I will keep you updated through the daily precise updates of the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and the entire US stock market every day. Means pre-market analysis. Pre-market analysis means I will give you an update 1 or 2 hours before the open of the stock market for the entire day, that this is what is expected to happen. Then comes the first update after 1 hour or so. Then comes the midday update after 3 hours. Then comes the final update 1 or 2 hours before the closing of the stock market. In this manner, you are very well aware of what is happening and what is going to happen in the next hour, okay, or for the rest of the session or so. And that's not all, because every day I give the opportunities in the premium stocks and the ETFs like QQQ, SPY, DIA, okay, many other ETFs, and the premium stocks, okay, of the US stock market. And more than 80-85% of the times, okay, the opportunities have worked very well and as per expected to work, okay. And that's not all, because every week in the middle of the week I gave the midweek update. This midweek update is basically a video technical analysis, okay, wherein I discuss all of these the conditions, okay, bullish, bearish, struggle, fall, okay, rise, everything, all of these are conditions in this the midweek update. So guys, whenever you want to join my Patreon community in order to get these daily precise updates and the opportunities and the midweek update, then I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. And when you follow that link, then you will see that this is my Patreon page and this is my Patreon profile. And here on my Patreon page, you will see this a button. This button says membership options. And when you click on this button which says membership options, then you will see that there are these three levels, three tiers, level 1, level 2 and level 3. The level 1 and level 2 are same. The only difference is the geographical location. And when you subscribe either to level 1 or level 2, then you will be getting all midweek update videos every Wednesday or Thursday. Daily SP500 analysis, updates, movement, levels, zones, momentum, everything every day. The stock market opportunities minimum 5 to 10 every week. This level 3 is very special because whatever you are going to get here, by default you will get that here. Other than that, there will be one Zoom video meeting, and in this the Zoom video meeting I will tell you, okay, this is a one-on-one Zoom video meeting. I will tell you, I will teach you the entry and exit secrets, one premium hack with very high accuracy, one trading or options strategy with very high accuracy, then modified technical indicators, okay, I will help you set up your charts, and options premium calculator. I will teach you how to calculate the premium value of any option and more about options in this the level 3. In this is special level. And guys, if you notice, many people have joined my Patreon community for last many days, weeks, months, years, and they are getting these daily precise updates every day from Monday through Friday, pre-market analysis, then first update, second update, important update, midday update, final update, and the stock market opportunities and the midweek update every day. So guys, whenever you want to join my Patreon community in order to get all of these, then I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. You can follow that link and you can join my Patreon community, and you are welcome. Now guys, I am going to discuss the second point of the agenda of this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis, and this is the daily chart. Daily chart means one candle represents one day, not 1 week or 1 hour. Okay. So now let's first discuss the last daily candle. Okay. So the last daily candle of the S&P 500 is very thin bearish candle. Very thin bearish candle. Okay. Because the previous candle to this candle was heavily bullish. Okay, and in comparison to that candle, this candle is very little bearish. This means that this candle will indicate neutral sentiments, neither bullish nor bearish, because as such it was supposed to trigger bearish sentiments, okay, not gap down but just bearish initial or intraday. But because of this this condition, okay, it will indicate neutral sentiments. Okay, now not just the neutral, but this will be more into the bearish side. It's still neutral, but more into the bearish side. How? Now see, it hit the 6,600. Okay, that was the all-time high, 6,600.21. it closed below 6,600. It failed at 6599, the range. Okay, the final point 6599 closed below that. Okay, it has disrespected the 6,655x, the range which was supposed to be the calculated ATH. Okay, all of those conditions indicate bearishness. Okay, this means that if somehow there comes a little gap down open, okay, through the weekly chart or so, in that case this can trigger. See, neutral means that it will follow, okay, what the rest of the market is following. Simple. If the rest of the market is following bullish, then it will follow bullish. If that is following bearish, then it will follow bearish. It is simply neutral. Okay, but picture will be more clear here in the Dow Jones. Now this is the daily chart of the Dow Jones. Okay, this is the last daily candle of the Dow Jones. This is very much visible. This is good bearish candle, and also in the open equal to high condition. Open equal to high condition, good bearish candle, indicating an initial or intraday bearish movement on Monday. No gap down. Okay, gap down is not confirmed, but an initial or intraday bearish movement on Monday. Okay, it can be seen through this candle. This means that this neutral that was seen in the SP 500, okay, it is actually bearish in nature because of the Dow Jones. Okay, this is clear. Now this will be more clear through the technicals. Okay, whether there will be a fall or not. So in terms of the technicals, okay, but guys, before that, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And guys, so far if you have liked this video, then give a thumbs up, hit like to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. And if you want to get the daily precise updates of the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and the opportunities in the premium stocks ETF, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now let's analyze the technicals. In terms of the technicals, the S&P 500 is bullish through the moving averages on the daily chart. The S&P 500 is bullish through the Bollinger Bands on the daily chart. The S&P 500 is bullish through the Ichimoku cloud on the daily chart. The S&P 500 is bullish through the MACD on the daily chart, and the S&P 500 is bullish through the stochastic RSI on the daily chart, and is very near to hit the saturation. Not actually near, but it has already hit the saturation. Okay, initial level of saturation it has already hit. Okay, this means that any more bullishness will create more problem for the S&P 500, and the only way to cool down is to come down and to fulfill its obligation to the 655x, which was the expected all-time high, the calculated, okay, earlier the calculated ATH. Okay, that is the only thing that can help the S&P 500 to cool down, otherwise not. In this manner, the S&P 500 is 100% absolute bullish on the daily chart. Okay, through the technicals, but again, it has hit the initial level of saturation. Okay, any more bullishness means more saturation, right? There will be only one case when this more saturation will be allowed. Okay, that I will discuss in the next part, in the probable movement. Okay, now let's analyze the daily chart of the Dow Jones. On the daily chart of the Dow Jones is bullish through the Ichimoku cloud on the daily chart. The Dow Jones is bullish through the Bollinger Bands on the daily chart. The Dow Jones is bullish through the moving averages on the daily chart, and the Dow Jones is bullish through the MACD on the daily chart, and it managed to sustain bullish through the stochastic RSI on the daily chart. Now Dow Jones has not hit any kind of saturation or anything. Dow Jones is the most stable index, okay, as of now, and it is fulfilling all of the calculated technical conditions, technical obligations, okay, the all-time high conditions. It is fulfilling everything. So Dow Jones is not a problem. Dow Jones is 100% absolute bullish on the daily chart. So in this manner, the entire market is 100% absolute bullish on the daily and the weekly chart. Okay, it's not like that it is like neutral or 50% or bearish on the daily chart. It is now clear that the entire market is aligned 100% absolute bullish on the daily and the weekly chart. Okay, so what does that mean? This means that as of now, at least until Tuesday, end of the day, the market is in a condition wherein it can sustain sustain bullish. Even if there comes any fall, then also the fall is expected to be limited and recoverable, and the market will try to sustain and hold bullish. If it doesn't give any fall, and if it fails to move up because of the heavy the resistance zone, okay, then it will keep on trading it in between the 655x and the 6599 or 6600, you can say, until Wednesday, okay, around means 1 p.m. Eastern time or 2 p.m. Eastern time, when the FOMC decision will be known and the SEPs will be released. So now I'm going to discuss all of this in detail in this the next point, that is the probable movement. But guys, before that, let me tell you that this is the S&P 500 knowledge transfer program. Okay, through this program I teach whatever I know, whatever I have learned in last many years of research and all of this, I teach that through this program. And once you participate in this program, okay, then you will become self-reliant and you will be able to trade freely without any external help or without any fear. So in this program I cover everything from the basics to the advanced, okay, the basics of the stock market and these things, then the modified technical indicators. Okay, my technical indicators are modified in order to predict the movement. I will share with you and I will help you set up your charts. Then the trading strategies, okay, these trading strategies are modified. Then the market analysis, okay, how to analyze the market, where to get the credible information. Then the options calculator, options trading strategies, okay. So I will cover from basics to advanced of the options, okay, and also I will teach you how to calculate the premium value of any option, because more than 95% people who are trading in the options, they do not know how to calculate the premium value of any option, and they are trading in this manner, they are trading blindly. Then I will share with you the support and resistance levels. Then I will tell you how to predict the price, okay, where we are expecting a reversal, okay, or a correction, okay, recession, okay, or this thing, or from where we are expecting a bullish movement, continuous bullish movement, and these all-time high levels, okay. Then the trend analysis, how to analyze a trend, okay, and the reverse engineering from options to the stocks. Then how to recognize the manipulation and how to convert the manipulated trap into opportunities. Then the hacks with very high accuracy. And then these are some basic terms and conditions. These are the snapshots of the meetings. So guys, whenever you want to participate in this program, then I have given my email address. I have shared my email address in this the Google spreadsheet. Okay, you can simply send me an email, and I've shared the link to this Google spreadsheet in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now guys, I'm going to discuss the third and the last point of the agenda of this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis. And here I will give you the probable movement. Probable movement means what we are expecting to happen in the US stock market, in the entire US stock market in the next week through the numbers, okay, and all. Now the first thing first, the most important event of the month, okay, is on September 17th, when the FOMC decision will be known, the SEPs will be released, okay, and will tell us about the expected economic conditions, okay, and then the press conference of the Fed chairman. All of this will happen on Wednesday 17th of September from 2 p.m. Eastern time onwards, okay. Before that, on Tuesday, the retail sales data will be released, okay. But because the mega event, the FOMC event, is in the picture on Wednesday, this means that even if there comes heavy deviation in the retail sales data on Tuesday, then this is not expected to impact the movement of the market much. There will be definitely some impact, but not heavy impact, okay, because of this. These are the only two things, or in short, this is the only one thing, okay, the FOMC meeting. Now so in the news, okay, everywhere it is like, you know, the Feds will give the first rate cut, okay, it will be 25 bps or 50 bps. So I'm not going to discuss all of that, okay, because that is something that is purely speculative, okay, and I do not know what they are thinking. They may give 25, they may give 50, they may not give anything, okay. So let's just stick to the numbers, levels and zones, okay. That will help us navigate, okay, through these, you know, the heavy volatile days, okay. Now, but what we know is that on 17th of September, on Wednesday, it will be very much clear whether the market has any more room in the bull side, or it will simply start its bearish cycle. Okay, bearish cycle means first there will be a correction cycle, and if the Feds anticipate, or if the SEPs mentions, okay, or anything like recession, then first the correction cycle, then the recession cycle. Okay, in this manner it will be there, but there will be a staircase pattern, like this was there, then it will move up, then this will be, then move up, then there will be a staircase pattern. Okay, instant reactions may be seen if the Feds indicate some this kind of recession scenario. Then instantly we have seen a very heavy fall intraday for 1 to 2 days. That fall will be there until Friday 17th, 18th, 19th, but eventually the market will correct itself. Okay, it will move up. Okay, will then come into the technical condition, will then follow the technical path, the technical, this the staircase pattern. Okay, so this is what is expected to happen. Okay, and what will happen. And if you're my Patreon community member, then I will tell you, okay, all of this means once the decision is released and the SCPs are released, okay, what it is indicating, okay, and if the market is going to give a heavy bearish movement or bullish movement or just a neutral movement, then I will give you the real time, okay, interpretations of the Fed chairman press conference, okay, all of this. So now we have Monday, Tuesday, then comes the Wednesday. Okay, so first the Monday and Tuesday. Now the S&P 500 is in a condition wherein we are expecting it to trade and to remain in between 655x and 6,600, in short, or 6,599, just 1 point below this. We are expecting S&P 500 to trade and to remain, okay, in between these two. Why? Because 655x was the calculated, okay, and the expected ATH, okay, just like for the Dow Jones, okay, it was working and it has worked. Okay, for the QQQ earlier, it has worked perfectly. Okay, so similarly this was there, the market has disrespected, moved up, then again came the second heavy this the reversal zone, okay, resistance zone, that ends at 6,599, or in the simply 659x, that is there. So now it is trading in between these two. Okay, now in the short term, in the long term, okay, these two are going to define everything as in, see, as of now, the market, if it try to move up, then it will face resistance because of 659x and the 6,600 psychological level. Okay, means if it fails to move up on Monday, this means that on Tuesday also it will fail to move up, it will remain below 6,600. If it try to move up but fails at the 6,600 or 6,599 and remains below this, okay, in that case this is expected to remain like this for next 2 days, for Monday and Tuesday. And in an ideal case, okay, this should happen, S&P 500 must spend time in between these two, at least until Wednesday 2 p.m. Eastern time, when the FOMC decision will be known, will be released. Okay, but there comes one more condition, because the 655x, okay, it was breached, it moved up because of heavy manipulation on Thursday. Okay, there was no heavy fall, no this the reversal from here. So now the S&P 500 is still in this the obligation, the technical obligation to trigger a short term, at least a short term reversal. But in this case, see, from 649x, okay, a short term reversal was supposed to be there for around 2 days, 2 or maximum 3 days, just not more than that. We have seen it was for 2 days. From 646x, okay, this was supposed to be there for around 3 to 4 days or maximum for a week. It was there. But at 655x, okay, it is very different, because at 655x it should be there for more than 1 week, for more than 5 days. Okay, now this is a big technical obligation at the 655x, right? But because of the mega event, without mega event it was not supposed to move up at all, it was supposed to give up. But because of the mega event, all of this has happened, but still Monday and Tuesday are there. Market can hold and sustain based on the speculation, heavy speculation and FOMO also. But technically, okay, when it comes down, test the 655x, loses, and the hourly closings are seen below the 655x, then it will not be in a condition to wait for Tuesday or on Wednesday until 2 p.m. Eastern time. It will already be in a condition where it will come in under the technical obligation, and there will be fall and fall. On Wednesday, yes, after 12:30 p.m., after the three hourly candles, okay, it can sustain hold, but in that case this will be triggered. Okay, this means one more thing for the bullish movement. Okay, what we must know, that for the bullish movement to happen, the Dow Jones, okay, so it breached the all-time high, calculated all-time high by 0.1%, 0.15, 0.2%. That's it. Okay, that worked perfectly fine. Okay, not a problem. So now the Dow Jones, if the Dow Jones remains below, okay, its all-time high is 46,137, 46,137.20. If it remains below 46,137.20, then S&P 500 is not going to breach or sustain above the 6,600 mark, no matter what. In that case, it will be confirmed that it is going to trade and remain between 659x and 655x. Okay, only when the Dow Jones moves up, gets a reversal, trades bullish, then by default S&P 500 will come into a condition to trade bullish and will gain the bullish momentum. But even with that bullish momentum, the S&P 500 will struggle a lot here in the 659x, just like what we have seen yesterday on Friday. Okay, struggle, and then there must come one closing above the 6,600 so that more bullish movement can be expected or anticipated. Otherwise it will not happen. Okay, so this is very, very clear, right? This also means that if on 17th of September, okay, irrespective of what is happening before 17th of September, okay, but if by the 17th of September S&P 500 is seen trading in between these two, 6,600 and 655x, okay, and there comes some bullishness from the Feds, okay, I don't know what that will be. Okay, so let's say let's consider this case. If there comes some bullishness from the Feds, the SEPs are indicating that the economic situation will not worse, though recent published data indicates that the economic situation has started to weaken or worsen. Okay, job losses, heavy job losses are there in the market, means situation is not good. Okay, but I'm considering a best to best case scenario where everything is perfect and is good, is favorable to the Wall Street. If that comes, that will be the only case wherein the S&P 500 can breach and can try to sustain, but we will have to wait until the closing, because only the closing will tell us whether this was sustainable or not. Intraday it can breach 6,600, not a problem, but if it closes below 6,600 on 17th of September, then that will indicate a fall, not a bullish movement but a fall, because we are going to stick to the numbers. 6,599 is the number, 6,600 is the psychological level. Okay, without closing, breach will not matter. Okay, breach may happen but it will not matter, closing will matter. There must come a closing, because as long as S&P 500 is closing below, okay, because after 655x the calculated one is 659x. okay, these two are back to back, very heavy. So technical and non-technical, okay, so it is not possible at all. Only and only the very heavy manipulation, because on 11th of September, on Thursday itself, in my pre-market analysis, I mentioned to my Patreon community members, only and only 100% pure manipulation can help the S&P 500 to move beyond this, the 655x range. Otherwise, that's not possible at all. Okay, and this is exactly what we have seen. Okay, now this can be seen as a beautiful trap, because if the Fed's SEPs goes against, then there will be a very heavy fall. That fall will indicate the recession is in the picture. Yes, regarding the recession also, we must understand that fourth quarter of 2025 and until third quarter of 2026, the economy is expected to slow down and to remain in this condition. The job market and everything is expected to remain in this condition. Okay, just slowness means recession. So everyone, all of the economists, they know that from the fourth quarter, means from next month onwards, okay, when the companies will post the earnings, from October 2025 until September 2026, the economy will slow down. It has already slowed down, but it will further slow down. Okay, now here comes one more thing that some people are saying, okay, although I am not going to discuss this in detail. Some people are saying that Feds are going to give the rate cuts. Okay, they will do just like in the 2020 when everything collapsed. Then Fed brought the interest rate almost to zero. Okay, why? In order to boost the economic activity. But this economic activity, so if the Fed start to cut the rates, remember recently on Thursday the inflation data was released. Okay, CPI and the core CPI, that data was negative for the Wall Street. That was another reason. And then at the same time it was already about around the 655x. So there was a perfect reason for a good fall on Thursday itself. And the news websites and channels were also saying the same thing. But the Wall Street pushed the market higher. That is why it was the case of 100% pure manipulation. Anyways, okay. So what I'm trying to say is that even if the Feds start to give the rate cuts, okay, then the meeting happens every 45 days, right? But so the impact of the rate cut, okay, it will be felt after, it will take a minimum of 4 to 5 months or 6 months before the impact will be felt. Just like when the Feds started to raise the rates, then its impact started to felt after 4 to 6 months of raising the rates. Similarly, so there is a significant lag. There is a significant lag. Okay, so if the Feds start to give the rate cuts, then also its impact will be seen in or after 4 to 6 months. Anyways, I was talking about the numbers. In terms of the numbers, okay, bullish side is clear. Bearish side will be triggered and will be triggered heavily when there comes back-to-back hourly closings below 655x, or if there comes one daily closing below 655x, then the bearish side will be triggered. Okay, now when the bearish side is confirmed and will be triggered, then again more than 5 days, more than 1 week of the bearishness must be there, because this is very heavy as compared to the 646x or the 649x. This is 2 or 3 times heavy. Okay, so more than 1 week or 1 to 2 weeks of bearishness will be there. This means that it will be coming down. It will be coming down to what? It will be coming down to the next heavy support will lie at, now before that it was 653x, my heavy support, from where we have seen, okay, this is a fall, intraday fall. Okay, after that 653x there will be the 649x. It will find heavy support at 649x. After the 649x it will be 646x, the heavy support zone. Okay, so once it comes down to the 649x, then it will be very much clear and confirmed that now it is coming down to the 646x. Okay, very simple. Now it will hold and sustain at 649x for around 1 day. Okay, around 1 day. Okay, minimum of 1 day. And at 646x it will hold for around 2 days. Okay, during the fall. And then after 646x, once it loses the 646x, this means that now the market, the SP 500 is ready for the 6300 range. Okay, although it will take some time from 646x to the 6300. Okay, but it will be clear that now it is ready for the 6300. This will then fulfill all of the condition, the pending obligations to the 655x. This is how the bearish side will be covered. And this is actually how the stock market works. Okay, the bull and the bearish side. And especially if you have subscribed to my YouTube channel for last many months or years, repeatedly, okay, you have seen it. Okay, that whenever I mention a level or a zone and the market disrespect the level or the zone, then there comes very heavy fall or very heavy rise. Means if it was supposed to restrict the bullish side and was supposed to come down, but it moves up, then within a day or two, okay, soon it will come down, there will be heavy fall. When it was coming down, it was supposed to get a reversal, but it still there was more bearish movement. This means now there will be very heavy bullish reversal. Okay, so my levels and zones are respected in this manner. That is why I'm saying 655x, it will be respected, and it will be respected heavily. But there is no need to worry, okay? Because if you're my Patreon community member, then I will keep you posted, keep you updated through these daily precise updates. And guys, if you want to join my Patreon community in order to get these daily precise updates every day from Monday through Friday, as well as the opportunities in the premium stocks, okay, minimum 5 to 10 every week, and the midweek update, okay, video technical analysis, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. And guys, hit like if you have liked this video in order to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. And guys, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And if you have any questions that you want to ask, then please feel free to ask your question through the comment section.